I don't care.
Right.
I'll take it. May hurt later on when in that fourth year, in that third year, but it doesn't even matter right now. Right now, that kid Claxton might be his replacement. By then, who knows? But the Nets right now haven't played anybody really that good, right? They haven't beaten those top four in the East teams. What is
Well,
it
we
that
split with
you?
Boston.
Uh,
We split with Boston, and we could have won the game in Boston, which was more encouraging to me than winning the noon Friday game. That noon Friday game was a weird game. It's the day after Thanksgiving. It's noon. It was kind of a good schedule win for the Nets,
yeah,
but they played well in Boston for the most part. The game eventually got a little away from them, but when I look at Boston, there's no next level for them. This is the squad in Boston.
yeah.
And the only thing they can do to change it is to give up their good players. Their centers stink. They don't really have much of a bench, but they've got good starters.
Right.
They have a good starter and they have a great coach.
We beat them in the playoffs. I guarantee you that.
Without KD.
Without KD, we beat them in the playoffs. I don't worry about
and
them.
I feel
I've said
the
it
same way about
many
Miami.
times. We beat Miami in the playoffs.
I feel the same way about we can't beat Milwaukee right this year. We're not going to beat Milwaukee. This is just not going to happen. Philly is just a bad matchup for us. But Philly is the kind of team, you get there, who knows what kind of shape Embiid is in. And they've gotten worse shooting the ball. But
I think we could give them so that's the matchup where Kenny Atkinson's theories on basketball is going to be mostly tested.
Right.
That is the team that we can hurt the most doing what we do best. If you could just continuously run Kyrie and Dinwiddie and Karras at them, it's not like last year where D'Lo kind of tried to he had to kind of like fool you into scoring. This is a team that's going to just basically turn this big ass Sixers team into turnstiles. Can they chase us for seven games? And I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't fear anybody. To me, I'd love for them to obviously have a home series, but to me, the seeding is almost good. I think when this is all said and done, by the time we hit April, seeds 2 through 7 are going to be so close by records, like 5 games separate the team. And it's really going to come down to matchups. Yeah. And who's healthy at that time and playing, their best basketball. None of these teams frighten me whatsoever. I think we could beat any of them. Outside of Milwaukee, we'd have no shot against. It'd be tough to beat the Sixers. Toronto, I don't know what to think about yet because they've got the championship experience, but when the playoffs start, I feel like they're back to the DeRozan years where they don't have that centerpiece guy again. Maybe Siakam can be that guy, but I'm not sure yet.
This is why I'm always moaning about getting someone to play the power forward because I think for the Bucks and for Toronto, you got to be able to bang with them. And I just think it puts Jared Allen in a bad position where he's basically playing all of those guys alone in the post, and they're both his responsibility. He's been doing some good things, and I think he's mastering that position and that role that they want him to play. I just don't think it's going to be effective in the playoffs when things grind slower. Teams are reading your scouting report every other night, and they're gearing up to stop you. You have to be able to have a counter move to what it is that you usually do, and that's what's concerned. How do we fix that, Bam?
Well, there's only a couple ways, and it's not going to happen this year. This year, the Band-Aid is hopefully Wilson Chandler. You hope he can come in and provide a little bit of what P.J. Tucker does for Houston.
Yeah.
But in the off season, we have the full mid-level, which should be about $10 million, I think, something like that. You're gonna have to throw money at a
10
guy.
plus.
You're gonna have to throw money at a player like that.
Mm-hmm.
Torian Prince plus picks kind of package for maybe a disgruntled player elsewhere, where a team's looking to shed some long-term salary and a guy that doesn't help them but can help a team that wants to compete. Because it's not going to happen in the draft. We're not going to pick. I mean, we have Phillies pick this year. It's not going to be anywhere where a true difference maker's coming in at that spot. And then look, when it comes to the playoffs next year, Durant might have to play with 4 in the playoffs. We don't want him to do that in the regular season, but when it comes down to the playoffs, look, he has the length, the height. He's going to have to help out and rebound. And he's a great player.
My hope is that they just find him a Draymond Green. And I don't mean specifically. Yeah, I know, right? I don't mean specifically Draymond Green. Someone who's just going to play that role of you put him next to KD and he's the one that's the enforcer out there. And I think you need that to win in the playoffs. And we don't have that, but there's I think we have assets. That's the other thing that Sean Marks has done undeniably well is he's got these superstars. He's bent the team into a shape to be able to sign them both, and he still has assets to make another big trade. What trade would you do? Give me a trade idea.
Who's more untradeable, Joe Harris or LeVert?
Joe Harris.
I think so. Now, if I'm starting a team, I want Harris, but for this team, we have
if this team had to let somebody go, you can't let go Joe Harris. Joe Harris is the player that no one remembers from that championship, but he's one of the core reasons. If you don't have a Joe Harris on your team, you're not winning a championship.
Right. I mean, even between Spencer and Harris, I think you got to keep Spencer because having that point guard duo is something that most teams don't have the point guard, the starting point guard the Nets do.
Yeah.
And most teams, and our backup is better than a lot of these teams we're going to be competing with starters.
Our shooting guard would start in the bottom, 20 NBA teams point guard role. Not
So the names I've thought of that are realistic is a package. LeVert heading to Cleveland for Love is a name. I mean, I honestly I can't think of too many other names out there that really make a lot of sense for us. I mean, I've got my eye on Iguodala with that mid-level next year. If he doesn't, but it seems like he's destined for the Lakers.
Yeah.
You got to start looking at like good teams, but that are like on their way out. Maybe Nurkic, we could pry from Portland.
No way, they love him. They love him out there.
Yeah, but he's hurt, and I've even seen them as a possible landing spot for Love. So maybe if it was like a 3-way trade, something like that. But
they'd be interested in a player like Torian Prince. That guy would space the floor for them. They wouldn't have to interrupt having Dame and CJ out there. And he could move to his natural position of small forward and provide some shooting. But I don't know, man. Like I worry that they don't believe they need it. And in the
what
playoffs,
do you think of Kevin Love?
Kevin Love is
makes
such
a ton of sense.
It does, but it's such a horizontal move in the sense of you're not going to be good with Kevin Love 3 years from now.
I don't care about that though, bro. I mean, we have to keep it in the back of our minds to an extent. But this is the best roster the Nets have ever had, and if it means sacrificing, first off, these guys have proven that they can build a team with limited assets. So,
but it takes time
I can't
for those.
Worry about it.
It takes time for those pieces to start to be good. Now, look, they could develop this kid Claxton. Who knows? They could fix whatever's going wrong with Karutz. He's still very young as well. I just don't. I just worry that they don't even think they need them. That they think, you know what, David Nwaba is our answer. So
No, I think. Look, I think they want to play. They want to play 4-out, 1-in basketball. And that's fine. And honestly, Durant is like the ideal 4 for them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, and I think that's why we both feel like he's the guy, but we don't want him doing it for 82 games.
All right,
So that's a drastic trade to make, and in the playoffs, we would probably be fine him flying into that 4 spot.
Last question before we bounce. Chandler's coming back to the lineup, right?
Right.
Who's getting cut?
So I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I think Christian Winfield tweeted that they could waive Ellison, I think his name is, Henry Ellison.
Yeah.
And then convert Pinson to a 2-way deal. That would be that's what I would do. If they can't do that, I would waive Pinson.
Yeah, Pinson would be the...
he is the worst player I think the Nets have ever had.
If I'm being honest, he's playing better than Musa. But here's why you
there's
keep
no
Musa.
Upside.
Right. Pinson is 24.
He's not much better.
He's definitely not much better. They're both pretty putrid right now. But I just think Musa being 21, I could see that it's mental with him. He has skills. He has ability, and but his shot has to fall. And so
I'll say this for Musa though: you don't see his head hanging and things like that. I think he knows he's struggling.
And his defense has been surprising. The
defense is right, so at least he's making up for it a bit on that end of the floor. If he can't shoot the ball, he's never going to be effective. So for him, it could just be one night where he just sees the ball in the basket a couple times. He gets hot one night. It could kind of change things for him. But again, he's 20. He's got limited experience. He's weak.
Mm-hmm.
He's a late first-round pick. Those guys usually aren't rotation players in their first couple of years because they're typically drafted to good teams. So he's just playing out of necessity right now.
And it's dope that they're developing players while they're competing. You can't beat that. Like, they're winning games, and they're playing players they hope could be good in the future, heavy minutes. That's amazing.
And I said this to some of my friends who are Knicks fans. I'm like, look, we're putting lineups on the floor with Theo Pinson, David Nwaba, Garrett Temple, Amon Shumpert, and DeAndre Jordan, and that group will actually build leads or sustain leads, and we are winning games with those guys playing. So with the Knicks, it's like they've got more talent than that. It just goes to show the lack of like an infrastructure and system and cohesiveness. So I feel great about where the Nets are. It's a big game tomorrow. They should have never lost the Miami game. They should be 12-9 right now. I'm sorry, 13-9, which is a big difference.
It's
but
a huge
if they can win tomorrow, beat Charlotte before they get the Raptors and Philly, I'll be feeling really good about the team.
Do they get one from? Do they get either of Raptors or Philly?
Yeah, because I'm already seeing that Embiid might be out for some time. But yeah, I'll say they get one of them. I think they're going to beat Denver tomorrow. It's a 3:00 game. Look at this schedule that Denver had. Denver played in New York Friday night to fly to Boston to come back to New York on Sunday. That's bullshit. NBA's got to fix this stuff.
I might have to put a yard on that one.
Like that.
Yeah, I might have to put a yard on that one. Yo, Bam, pleasure.
Be good, buddy. Talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Yo, special thanks to my man Bam Bam Big Nose, my sparring partner on Twitter. We just chopped it up, New York City. Let's talk about soon.